Welcome to the Undrafted, Uncensored cast of Pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanker. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
Welcome in everyone to Undrafted, Uncensored. Colin, why are you smiling so weird?
Nick, why are you not?
I'm just happy, man. I'm happy that Joe only gave me the non-Eli bird. I just things are good. Things are good, man.
Goofy grin on your face, dude. It's like
things are good. I got my trip to New Jersey planned, and my cousin Jung. What's up, Jung? He came through. I'm gonna get a cool tour of the Meadowlands, the locker rooms, and everything like that. Get on the field. Yeah, it's been a damn good day. Just setting everything up. So
all right, got
some stuff done around the house and went to the chiropractor. So feeling loose, feeling good, feeling great. I am fine. How are you?
I'm a little nervous now. This extra loosey-goosey Colin thing you got going on.
Just wait.
Were you playing Colin in fantasy this week or something, Nick?
No, he already got lucky to beat me. Well, he didn't get lucky.
I didn't get lucky. I won.
Stupid.
I don't know about you.
Yeah, Nick.
I said it wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
I was gonna text you at the start of that and be like, I need to switch this out. I swear, before anything happened, I was like, fuck, whatever. It was too late. It was like, I think it was like 4 minutes into the game.
CD tried to bribe me to lose for him. I almost did until the Bengals
CD tried to bribe you to lose, huh?
Yeah. Sorry, CD.
Do we have some collusion going on?
Let's put that on the list of things you shouldn't say to the commissioner of the league.
What was?
I still thought I was going to lose.
There's no collusion allowed.
I didn't take the offer.
I know, but if he's offering, I don't know if that's quite allowed. CD, you better watch yourself. No, collusion is not allowed in this league.
I'm pretty sure it's still a crime to offer a bribe to a police officer. Correct?
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. There was no bribe offered. He just asked if I would.
He just asked if you would accept a bribe.
And I told him, I'm like, dude, I don't know. You still have a chance because I had CD Lamb, and I'm like, that's all I got left. I was losing by 2 points.
I don't know if you guys saw. I almost made a miracle comeback on Sunday, and then Joe Mixon's last touchdown killed me. My Houston defense took me back to victory, and then Joe Mixon on that last drive, I was like, "You have it under control. Put whoever the hell else you have in." I can't remember what's his face that was good 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
is that just the whole Houston Texans team?
They let Joe Mixon get his third touchdown of the night, and
Dameon Pierce probably.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce. Yeah. I was hoping that he would go back in, but nope. They decided to let Joe Mixon get a third touchdown, but that's all right. 2 other leagues, I'm dominating in first place easily, and one, the E5280 Sports League, crushing.
There you go. See, my opponent this week had Amon-Ra St. Brown, who put up 40, and Taysom fucking Hill, who put up 43. So I lost by like 50. And, of course, it was the first guy in our league versus me, the second guy in our league. So now I'm probably in some sort of 8-way tie for second because bullshit. But, man, that would have been cool. I just made my sweet trade. My guy was on a bye week, so I was like, whatever, let's go. And, no.
Didn't work out.
I'm just enjoying life, just cruising through.
Mr. Second place.
Is it second now? I didn't check. I haven't checked since the end of the game.
Pretty sure you're in second.
Sweet. Well, sometimes the blind squirrel does find a nut.
Yeah, you get lucky every once in a while.
Hey, I'll take it. So I don't know if you know, there's 3 different versions of this song. They're all called Creep. And I don't know why TLC seemed like the most appropriate one. and I think it's just because of the horns and it's TLC. Because I was gonna go STP, and
What about
then
ICP?
I was like, no, let's go TLC. And then I was reminded that there's also another one, but they don't have initials, so it's not as
RHP?
funny. Yeah.
wait,
Radiohead. I don't know
I
how
was
to.
like,
RHP.
I was like, I don't know. I was trying to make it funny, but I can't. RH. It's not. Plus, nobody really knows. Well, I guess that's the only Radiohead song anybody knows.
I was
anyway.
gonna say, well, that's like, that's the Radiohead song.
Yeah. They can't name another one.
They might not be able to even name who the band is, but they know that song.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, didn't they just start touring again?
I
don't remember. Anyway,
I couldn't tell you.
So that seems to be the Buffs theme right now. They're creeping on up those CFP rankings, sitting at 16 right now, 2 outside of joining the bracket. If the college football playoffs were to start today, why does this only have 12?
Because there are only 12.
12 teams.
Oh,
sorry. It sounds like I was like, where are you going? Because it's not the top.
No, I got 14 stuck in my head for a minute because I knew they needed to
You
go
get the
up.
the 4 teams get the bye, and
Yeah.
then the next 8 play.
Yeah, I confused myself, so sorry. I had 14 stuck in my head. So if it was to start today, obviously 11-6 is Georgia and Penn State, Iowa and Ole Miss, BYU and Ohio State, and Alabama and Notre Dame. Those would be the games to play, and then the byes would go to Oregon, Boise State, the Longhorns, and the U. How do we feel about can the Buffs win out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's pretty. Yeah, they can. Not that Kansas doesn't have the talent to beat them, because they have beaten top-ranked opponents or ranked opponents this year. But the Buffs are just playing at another level, so they should be able to go in there and take care of business. You know what's been proven all year is that they have looked at the game that's in front of them. They haven't looked too far ahead, so hopefully they don't start now looking ahead at what could possibly be, much like I feel like they did last year. But they go into, I guess they're going into Arrowhead or Giha or whatever the hell it is.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, and they're playing there. But if they go into Kansas and take care of business, there's no doubt that they can, because BYU definitely showed some chinks in the armor against Utah. So, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that they can go in and win the Big 12.
Joe?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily feel like a foregone conclusion, but like they've got a pretty favorable schedule for the rest of the year. So yeah, I feel like also for the playoff sake, they kind of need to win out. Like taking losses at this point of the year, it's just too close with other teams. So I feel like maybe they still get a chance to get into the Big 12 championship without winning out. But I don't know, man. I feel like they kind of have to. But I don't know if that's that hard either. So I feel like it's right there for them. You know, they've come this far, and I forget what rap song it is, but they didn't come this far just to come this far.
Good one.
Game so far took so long at the end; it didn't really even matter.
You see, I tried so far, and I got
tried so hard.
No, I tried so far, and I got so.
Yeah, no. This is not hard. Well, that brings up a question though. So you said they might get in the Big 12 championship game, even if they do lose one. What if they don't lose one besides the Big 12 championship game? I've heard a lot of talk saying that CU couldn't get into the playoffs unless they won the Big 12 championship.
That's too.
I'm not totally on board with that, because what is this playoff? What did we see last year with Florida State? It's a competition. It's who's going to put up the best matchups, who's going to get the most eyes, who's going to get the most views. So why isn't CU getting looked at a little bit more? Is it because they're I mean, that
It's
disliked or that much of a lightning rod? Because I think they're going to bring the views. I think when the NCAA looks at this and they're, who the hell are we going to select? This is going back to old BCS bowl days. What are the better teams to get in there? CU is easily one of the best teams to get in there, whether or not they're lightning rod in a good way or a bad way. They're going to get views, and you're going to have eyes on whatever game they play. So I think that if they win out besides the Big 12 championship, I still believe they do have a chance to make it through.
Well, there's still that Big 12 bias too, where they're not the SEC, the ACC, or the who am I missing? SEC, ACC.
Well, there's the two big ones.
Which are the two that are always going to be
Big Ten?
Yeah.
But they've never
SEC,
taken the
ACC.
Big Ten seriously. Like in the Pac-12 was when it was still around, was just baby brother. You had the two big ACC and SEC, and then you had the Big Ten, and then the Pac-12.
You had two Pac-12s last year, Oregon and Washington.
I mean, they had to force their way in.
I know. But what I'm saying is that that was still, you had two Pac-12 teams in there when they've always been the underdog, because they were great stories, and they got chosen over a Florida State team that was better all year long, yet they were on their third string quarterback. So why would you not take two Heisman Trophy candidates possibly to play in a playoff game, possibly make their way through, because we know that some of these other teams are a little bit weaker. I mean,
they'll bring in the views, but I don't think they're realizing that they'll bring the money too, because again,
they realize they're bringing the money.
The conference they play in, they're already being tagged.
No,
yeah.
I think that they're bringing in plenty of money if they're playing in any game at all. Like the eyes that are on that game are unreal. It would easily be a cash grab. I mean, if CU lost out and then got a bowl bid, yeah, that would be an obvious cash grab.
Well, this is an
easy way. Like, I don't know who you're putting in front of them. You're putting in a Kansas State ahead of them now?
Well, I mean, right now the two teams ahead of CU at 16. Well, I don't have the 15th, but I have BYU, SMU, and then obviously Boise State is the lesser conference champion.
Yeah,
because they're bringing in the Mountain West. I mean, in all reality, Boise State shouldn't even be in the Mountain West right now. They need to step up their game and jump into a better conference. But I mean, that's a conversation for later, obviously, because Boise State's been dominating for a while
until CSU waxes that ass in the championship game.
Man, I would be so happy. I don't know. I might have to take a trip to Boise.
I don't know. I think if they win out but get to the Big 12 championship game and lose that game, I think there's a legitimate shot for them to get in, because we really are, with this selection committee, going back to a lot of BCS type of picking, and there's going to be people left out. I mean, this isn't going to be like the field of, now 68 for March Madness, but there are going to be teams that always have an argument when you have 12 teams that get in and you only have 4 guaranteed spots for those winners. And I sit there and I look at CU, and why would you not want that team to be playing in a bowl game with the Heisman players, like I said, with all the stuff that comes with Prime, all the media attention that it's going to get?
Yeah.
I think the opponent would want CU to be there, because they're going to bring so many damn people to their freaking campus. Unless it's Boise State, then they're probably pretty afraid of it. But I'm serious. Like, what team wouldn't want all that attention on their campus?
Yeah, I mean, that's not only the campus, that's the surrounding area too, because people are going to fly in for the bowl game. Oh, we're going to play Coach Prime. Let's go see if Lil Wayne shows up again. There's T.O. There's so-and-so. There's, look at that Maserati
there.
Yeah. And they underestimate CU too. They're like, oh, we can whoop their ass too. They're really just like 2 or 3 good players, and the rest of it. And it's like, oh no, that D line is legit. The secondary is okay. But they're gonna be able to make a little bit of noise. I'm not saying national championship or anything, but like, it's gonna be fun to watch, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I would love a national championship again. I do remember the first one. That was many, many years ago when I was below the age of 10.
Just a couple.
But I do remember those games. I had myself a CU jersey. My brother did as well. I remember watching the Orange Bowl with them. But I don't know. I mean, plus they got Miss Peggy. They got to give Miss Peggy to a bowl, and she's a classy dame. So
no, they got to get Miss Peggy to a playoff game.
Well, she's going to a bowl game.
Yeah.
Just which one is it?
Happy birthday, by the way, 100 years old.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Miss Peggy.
100, and then EJ played his 1,000th game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wish it was here, but whatever.
I do. I'm glad the Flyers at least waited for the Avs. I mean,
yeah,
it kind of worked out that way, but I'm glad the Flyers let the Avs be part of that celebration. I told my mom I was watching the pregame, and I told her, I was like, I am so glad the Avs didn't have to beat the Flyers for that Stanley Cup, because as many times as they had to bring that up, they're like, yeah, they beat the Lightning for the Stanley Cup. Oh, and they're showing all the different highlights again, and then it was just like, whew, that would have been bad because they throw batteries.
Well, yeah, they throw batteries. I mean, I think it was a good draw for the Avs to face the Lightning rather than the Rangers also. And
yeah,
because Jerkin Sturkin was doing a great job in net that year.
Jerkin the Sturkin.
Yeah.
And also just for the fact of actually getting to play the perennial cup winner and contender, it was good to not end up like the Broncos did against the Falcons, where it's like, oh man, that kind of got robbed of the Super Bowl that we should have had against the Vikings with Randall Cunningham and Randy Moss and Chris Carter. The Falcons had some dudes for sure, but it was not like what it could have been. So you kind of like getting the best team, people talk shit about the Nuggets championship because it was against the 8th seed Heat, but they were the best team in that conference. They beat everybody else. So,
yeah,
fuck them.
Yeah, it was still fun. Speaking of fun, it's Raiders week again.
Yeah.
So that's time of the season where us Bronco fans use our logic and our thinking and our rational brains, whereas Raider fans are going to go, Raiders.
And we're just going to go, suck.
I'm like, you guys have 2 wins. And Gardner Minshew.
I might go down to Vegas this Sunday.
Where are you? Thinking about it? I'm sure you can take it cheap.
Yeah, they're not expensive. I think I saw them for 45.
That's it.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm gonna double check right now.
Playing?
What?
The Golden Knights playing too?
I'm sure they are.
Double dip.
That would be a fun double dip.
Double dip.
I got a lot of sports coming up. Holy crap! That'd be so dope. Tickets is no, that's not what I saw. I mean, I see 143 now. Maybe I've just misread and was hoping, but I saw cheap tickets. So
I'm sure as you get closer to the game, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be fighting more Bronco fans than Raiders fans for tickets anyway.
Yeah. I'm sure.
And
and there's also the F1 races down there in Vegas this weekend. What's up, Sups? Sups. He's a big F1 fan. He was like, we should have made it down to Vegas this weekend. We got F1 all weekend. Raiders, Broncos. It's a fun weekend to be down in Vegas.
Yeah.
I was catching up with my friend David. So yeah, it's a busy weekend. There's a bunch of other crap going on. So I'm sure by Sunday afternoon there's going to be burnout. It is the afternoon game, right?
It's 2:05.
Yeah. I'm sure by Sunday afternoon there's going to be plenty of burnout and people who just don't care.
Don't want to do anything.
Raiders too right now. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
That'd be fun. I mean, if you'd have gone to the Pac-12 championship with me, you would know how nice the stadium is. It's easy. It's not that easy to get out of, but I mean, it's a really nice venue.
I was dating someone at that time, and we didn't jump on the tickets early enough, for it to be a conscious cost. That was on both of us, Nick. The ticket part.
I went.
I know, but it was also, we would have been spending a whole lot less for three of us. We would have spent the same amount for three of us, and then we would have just for two. And I would have left her at that point.
I'm confused. I bought my own ticket.
I know, but if I had ended up going as on my own ticket, it would have still cost more than would have cost if it was
three of us left at the hotel.
I could have. I mean, we did end up breaking up anyways in the end, but it was still a while later.
I tried.
Sorry, buddy.
You try to keep the relationship going, all right? I tried. And if I'd done it earlier, then it would have worked out and we would have gone. And I would have known. I was sad that I missed it. It was funny. Together. It was really funny seeing all the Utah fans on the train afterwards. It was a pretty great experience riding the tram around. I was like, oh, the game's over. I think I texted you. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Some people had some fun there.
That was a fun game. It was. That was a fun time. Yeah. Let me know if you. Just let me know if you go. I'm curious now.
Yeah.
And let us know if you're gonna double dipperoo.
Double dipperoo. Didn't Eustace get the win the other night for the Fs?
He did.
Our guy, the double dipperoo himself.
It got a little close, but the defense kept him out and kept the lead long enough for them to walk out with a dub.
Fuck yeah. There we go.
Sounds like Georgie might be coming back. I think he was skating today.
I don't know how long the IR requires you to be out for, but yeah, he might just be out the minimum amount of time.
I thought he was just out. They were just.
I thought he was on some kind of like hockey IL, IR, something, something with an I in it.
I don't know if there was a time frame, but
I don't know.
There probably isn't. I don't know if there's enough time. Eustace got the win, but come on, guys. Like, why? I don't even want to go into Eustace.
Well, he's the goaltender right now. It's not like we can avoid him. Plus, most of that was the defense. You got a nice lead, and your defense wasn't exactly helping you out. Although Sammy G's been on fire.
Yeah, the game winner the other night. So my friend Brandon, who I'm going to New York, New Jersey with to watch the Avs play the Devils, he sent me. He told me a few weeks ago. What up, Brandon? He told me a few weeks ago how he believed the Avs were fixed or their goaltending things were fixed. I'm like, dude, no. I'm like, I can't. I can't. I don't care if it was a 1-0 game. I can't remember which game it was. I don't think it was a 1-0 one where they lost. But he's like, they're doing good. I'm like, no, just wait. Because the problem with the Avs now is a lot like the Broncos last year. Like it's all very fluky. It doesn't feel like it's consistent. Nick, you said earlier the defense played great in front of Eustace. Yeah, and that's great. But they don't always play that way. And that's not their style. It's not the style that's been created here. They can play that way. But for them to win games consistently, I think it's shown that they're going to need to put enough goals on the board, not just sit back and play defense a la the Coyotes or even the Lightning, who we mentioned earlier. They have to get on pucks. They have to push the pace. They have to control the momentum, because when this team is out of momentum, they're useless.
Well, that's how they won the cup too.
Useless Ananin.
Yeah, and it's much like the Broncos last year when they weren't getting fluky turnovers or like dumbass plays by the other team to basically give them a chance to win the game. They weren't going to win. They were out of it.
But that's how they won the cup too, because they outskated their opponents. They were faster, and they were just, obviously much better.
Well, but Darcy
was they had a solid goaltender though. Darcy was not, he wasn't playing amazing, but he was good. Like, I feel like with Eustace Ananin, they haven't found a starting goaltender for the future or anything, but they found their Pavel Francouz. They found their solid backup that can come in and win you a couple games. Yeah. You pray you don't see him in the playoffs, but if you do see him in the playoffs, you're like, all right, fuck it. We can handle a couple of games with the double dipperoo. But no, solved is not a word I would use at all for the Avalanche goaltender situation.
Yeah, the Avalanche goaltender's a lot like time. 7 past Georgiev. All right, like,
but you have to remember
you're just waiting for it to hit.
But George has been the better of the two lately, until he got hurt.
That's
So, I said it before too. Right now, it's goaltender by committee. The Avs are stuck with what they have because they don't know what Landeskog's doing still. So is he coming back? Where's that money going to go? Is it still here? Is it not? And I mean, who can you get right now that's going to be any better than what we have?
You got to give up some guys. You're going to have to.
Who are you willing to give up? Because you're going to take away the opportunity for another cup.
You're going to have to give away a Miles Wood. You might have to give away a Druin.
Nope.
You're not going to get a cup with the goaltending that we have, so you might as well get the goaltending. No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Nick, when's the last time a team has won a cup with a goaltender by committee?
Ever.
I'm sure it's happened. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but at the same time, too, you're losing good pieces, and you can't lose good pieces. Plus, on top of that, frack. Where was my brain going?
Freaking frack.
My train of thought derailed.
I mean, but they also can make multiple moves like they did in the Stanley Cup year to try to recoup some of those losses and get just some rotational, bench guys.
There it was.
So, you're going to have to give up some good pieces, but it doesn't mean you can't fill up with other quality pieces here and there. And at the end of the day, the goaltender might just be that necessary to where, like, you may have a better chance of having 3 of the top 10 best players in the world and a decent goaltender than, 3 of the top 10 best players in the world and solid depth around them. And then some goaltenders.
Plus, what else happened last year when they were on their playoff run and everything was going fine? And then Val gets suspended. That throws the whole team off. And next thing you know, the whole season's down the toilet.
Maybe that's part of it. They trade Val.
I didn't believe in Georgie last year either, though. So this isn't anything that's different. He
wasn't doing bad, and you just have to be able. You just have to win 4 games.
Yes, he wasn't doing bad after like a 6-2 game in game 1.
It's gonna happen. That's hockey now. Hockey. We're not doing these 1-0 games anymore. These games are 5-3, 6-9, whatever.
Nice.
Completely random too, by the way. But these are high-scoring games now because that's what hockey is right now.
Yeah, but you don't want to be the 9. I mean, you want to be the 9 and not the 6. And right now, the Avalanche are getting the 9 put up on them, and they're putting up the 6.
They're climbing out of the hole. I don't know. I'm not. We have no choice right now. That's basically what I'm going to say. There is no choice other than we have to accept what we have. And if they're going to have to flip and flop through the season and, go on a 4-game winner and then there's his loss. All right, kick him out, put him in. It is what it is. These guys know how to play in front of both of these goaltenders. So it's not like it's anything new.
I mean, it stays this way. It's a first-round exit, second-round exit. At the latest, it's a second-round exit. I will put whatever on it possible right now that if the Avs are Georgiev and Justus Annunen going into the playoffs, that they are not making it out of the second round, and I will put money that it's most likely the first round. I would put like 100-1 that it's Avs out in the first round with them or whatever. I would put 100 in round 1 that they're out, 50 in round 2.
And then 200 in round 2 if they made it. Make back the 100.
Yeah, to make back the 100, right? No, that would be, if I was betting right now for them to even make it, I would bet more that they lose in the first round with what they have. I don't care who they're facing. This is like I said, it's the same thing that I've been saying since last year. And I understand you talking about losing depth, but what's one of the great things about the Avs that we talked about last year? They were the Eagle-Anch. And what happened at the end of the year? They were still atop the division, right?
Yeah.
Even with all those Eagle-Anch players playing, they have some really good rookies on the team. Actually, 2 of them have scored their first goals. Parker and I can't remember, but I believe Parker scored his first goal the other day.
My favorite name guy is Ivan.
But they do have young guys, but you're going to have to give that up because, you know, a goaltender isn't going to be easy to come by. And that's because teams know how important it is. And also, you've said it before, Nick, you pretty much coined it. Teams see that 303 and Joe Sakic calling, and they're like, uh-oh, we're going to get screwed here. Like, get the lube out. Someone buy me dinner. So, just, you're going to have to give something up. I would rather give up some young pieces to have this core of McKinnon and McCarr and Rantman, at least, you know, who knows about Landeskog, get a chance to win one now. And maybe that means that we have a goaltender for this year and next year. It depends. I mean, it all depends on who you get. Ideally, you'd love to get a guy who's locked up for at least this year and 2 more years, so you'd have him for 3 seasons. But you're going to have to give up that young talent. You're going to have to develop your draft prospects. You're going to have to do the things that you've done as an organization well over the next few years. I know, but that's what I'm saying. This year, you go in with this, and then you have a guy that's locked up who can be that goaltender for the next 3 years, where you give it a legitimate window.
Do you think, and this is just me kind of spitballing here because I don't know, this team is too good to be playing like this. Do you think the front office is waiting to see what Landeskog does before they make a big move?
Well, they probably have to with some of the money, depending on how big of a move they're talking about.
Well, if he's on LTIR, that's not going to play against it.
But he's not. But LTIR also plays against it once you go. If you're going into the playoffs and he's getting activated, then that money becomes active again.
Yeah, but
because you have to activate him. So you have to worry about that.
Found a way around it.
Well, I know they did, and the Vegas Golden Knights. What's up, Mark Stone? He's not on LTIR. If he's gonna go on LTIR, it's got to happen soon. They have to know by Christmas. I mean, you have to make a decision here on what's happening with Gabe.
Yeah,
and then if you have that money freed up, then you go and get a bigger free agent. Then once the playoffs come, you're going to have to cut some cap and you're going to have to move some guys around. And then you're talking the same thing that we're talking right now, because even if he's on LTIR, then you have to move the contracts of some of the other young talented guys down to the Eagles or off the squad and bring up guys to make sure that you're payroll eligible. So you might as well trade your younger guys to get that guy in here if the payrolls match up without the Landeskog money being involved.
So found a list of guys here that Google says are likely to be available. I've never heard of John Gibson, but that's the top one. Elvis Merzjikins. It doesn't say. Let's see.
I think he's Anaheim.
Doesn't say. We're not gonna worry about
it. That orange either.
We've got Marc-Andre Fleury. Alexander Georgiev is on the list, which makes me giggle. Antti-Ranta. Right, that's not how you say it, but I like saying it that way. Darcy Kemper, Semyon Varlamov, and then a bunch of other dudes. So there's, I guess, guys you can potentially try to go out and get that you might be able to, I guess, be better than Georgiev at least. But I don't know, man. There's no Sidney Crosby of goalies out there to just go and get, you know.
No. Paul Bissonnette today texted out.
Jesus. Why?
He said, get Sidney to the Avs already, all right?
Well, he's been saying that for years.
And I responded, I've been saying that for years, Paul. Like, why don't you watch Undrafted, Uncensored? I didn't put that in, but I'm going to go back and do that.
Yeah, as you should. I mean, come on.
Why?
So
they get Sid.
I'm live tweeting.
So they get Sid the kid. Okay, so they get Sid the kid, even though he's not a kid anymore. What does that help with the goaltending issue?
Oh, it's part of the deal.
Maybe it's 8 to 9.
Do the Penguins have a goalie? Can we get both? Can we make it a package deal with like Val Nichushkin?
Hey, we sent you Russell Wilson. Here's a decent quarterback. Can we have a goaltender and Sidney Crosby?
I don't think that's how that works.
They're leading the North.
They technically are, yes.
Just saying. We do appreciate thank yous here in Denver.
Is that your
segue? Brothers is Hey, I mean, I'll take Permanente brothers too, but if you can send me a goaltender, I'll be fine with it. Notice I said a goaltender.
Not like a chicken tender?
No. On a goaltender. Speaking of stalling and in the middle of nowhere right now, the Nuggets finally learned they can win without Joker and AG last night. They looked like a team. It's inevitable one of these days they're going to have to do this without him. But it's just frustrating that this team cannot wrap their head around the fact that Joker's been gone for 4 games. And what do we do? What do we do? What do we do, boss? What do we do?
Oh my god!
Well, not win.
You shoot the basketball is what you do. You play defense, and you're getting my screen all screwed up there, Colin.
You get Russell Westbrook a triple-double.
His 200th of his career. Congratulations on that. That was pretty awesome. I don't know why. It just kind of shocked me that it was number 200 for him.
Dude, he's got the most of all time. It's fucking sweet. And he's padding it more here so that Jokic can break it, and be more impressive when he does later.
He's not too far away. He's like 60 something away from him.
Yeah, I chose I chose MPJ3s in that game. Not very smart as there was a feeling that Russell Westbrook was going to go off. I was like, I should go with Russell Westbrook. His triple doubles at plus 2,200. I was like, ooh, that's tempting. And I was like, nah, it's not. Whatever. Murray's back. We'll be fine.
No.
Damn it. Murray came out today and said he's got to play better.
Good.
He had a lot of quotes today about his play and playing with Team Canada, the end of last season, where he's at this year, and what's happening. And one of them was he's got to play better for the team that's paying him. And I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also really miffed as to why the hell
I was going to say, I like the word.
Jamal Murray was in New York for the fights the night before the game in Memphis.
Oh, I mean, it's easy. This is Madison Square Garden. Come on.
Because he loves UFC.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to do after he retires from basketball.
Yeah.
There's all of these damn questions around you, your conditioning, your commitment to the game of basketball. It's the night before a game. The fights are going on until 1 a.m. And then you're catching a flight for a game the next day that's 2 hours.
When the cat is away, the mice will play. He was there.
But this is why questions are raised.
Oh yeah,
why questions are raised.
If he played too, it wouldn't have been as big of a question. But he did not play well. He played real bad.
Yeah,
and then he comes up with these quotes like, "Hey, I should be playing better for the team that's paying me. I gotta come through, and that's on me, dude. You gotta be there. It's the middle of the season. We all know." We're not at the superstar level, but we all know about sacrificing things for something that we love doing, just as we're doing this right now.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for tuning in and listening to us. We really do appreciate it. Appreciate if you love it, like it, share it, tell people about it. We'd love to grow this thing to something big. But, we've all sacrificed stuff to be here doing this at night, and it's for you all that are listening. And for us to further our careers and hopefully expand upon it. And when you see somebody like Jamal Murray say, yeah, I have to do better for the team that's paying me, but then he's out in New York at Madison Square Garden until 1 a.m, whatever time everything ended. And then he has to catch a flight to Memphis to play the next day. It doesn't matter if it's Scottie Pippen like, or Scottie, it's Dennis Rodman like.
Dennis Rodman.
There you go.
It's Dennis Rodman like.
No,
in a lot of ways, like.
Yeah, but Dennis Rodman played well when he came back from his
that's because he was on coke.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only difference is he played well.
Okay, so here it is. Jamal Murray, just start doing more drugs.
Yeah,
no, let's not, please.
But no matter which way you slice it, Jamal Murray is leaving Madison Square Garden. He's got to catch a flight. I don't know if they're firing up the PJ for him or if someone has done that for him. But either way, that still takes some time to get out of the city to the airport, wherever you're flying out of, even if it's right away after the fights, then to get down to Memphis, to get to your hotel, to get settled, and then you're playing the next day.
Yeah.
For a guy who was just out, was it 4 games with the concussion? 3 games?
Yeah.
4 games. For a guy who's been out of the game for a few days, and you're saying that conditioning and the leg and everything isn't an issue, bro, you got to be there with your team. You got to miss out on these events. Like there are other things that are more important, or you say are more important, but your actions are telling us something different.
And like you said, everything's about sacrifice, because let's say there was a 2-day break between games, and so you had an extra day in Memphis. Then not before the game, but if you're off Friday or Thursday and Friday, and the game was until Sunday or whatever, then maybe I can forgive that. But you got to be thinking about the team at this point, because yes, you have a championship ring. Yes, you got to raise a banner in Ball Arena. That's not it. You're not done. And if you're content with just one, then go cash your check somewhere else. Because I don't know about you guys, I want more than a championship.
Yeah, we're paying for championships.
I mean, we as fans, that's why we pay the money we do to go see them, because we want them to win. We want them to raise a banner, take this seriously. I'm not saying he's not taking it seriously, but he's not thinking right now. He's
the priorities
out of his own mind. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not taking the regular season seriously enough. And not necessarily every game is supremely important, but being there for your team is. Showing up, if you're taking my roommate's probably getting in the shower. I think that's what that sound is.
Okay. But
yeah, I can mute myself if it doesn't stop, because sometimes he'll just run. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, you can't. It's a really bad look, and you got to show up and play if you're going to do that, or take the game off, like Jokic did for the birth of his kid, like Malone did for his daughter. Like at the end of the day, if you got Spider-Man and Family Guy, everybody gets one game to take off a year. If that's going to be your one, then you fucking do that, and you show up and play when you do. But you don't go to the game at Madison Square Garden, the fight, that fight game. That was a real good game, you guys, at the fight.
It was all scripted.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that was a different one.
Points they scored?
Yeah, that was in Dallas or Arlington, Texas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's you got to be more professional about it. It's like when you go out and party the night before, you have to work the next day, any of us, and then you show up hungover and you're doing your job shitty, and it's like, bro, you could have just called out, or you could have not gone to the party. You could have done a lot of things besides what you actually did. And that's kind of what it felt like. Yeah. Jamal Murray's just hair the dog in it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you're paid to be a leader, and he's talking like he's a leader, but he goes out and does this stuff, and it's not leadership. It's not leadership material. It's not what you look for when Jokic is out. Who's the next guy that they're looking to? When Aaron Gordon is out.
Aaron Gordon's out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Westbrook was about the only,
he's starting to step up like it, because he needs to at this point, because no Joker and AG, and Jamal clearly is not a leader.
The next guy is Christian Brown.
That might be. He's a damn hard worker, but that's, then that's when you start to build animosity in the locker room. Why is this guy getting $200 million and he's showing up after a late night and getting all these passes? The Jokic, like, this is the one great thing about Jokic, and I know not every superstar is Jokic, but he would never. I mean, there is nothing. If he was in Travis Kelce's shoes dating Taylor Swift, he would not be going to a Taylor Swift concert and then coming to play a basketball game the next day and flying in, Or
if he did, he'd be getting a workout in before the concert, after the concert, before the game, and then he's putting in a triple-double.
He wouldn't.
But no, yeah, exactly. He probably wouldn't.
He wouldn't be there. Like, sorry, off season.
No,
unless there's horses involved.
Off-season after the horses.
But that's the type of stuff that gets you into the Hall of Fame, though.
Yeah,
is that kind of work ethic.
And that's what scares me about what I guess why it's so important for Malone to be the coach that he is with this team, because I'm kind of starting to believe that maybe Jamal had more influence on Bones Highland than we think or thought.
It's possible,
because some of this is what we saw with Bones Highland. Just did it as a rookie and it really stood out.
Yeah,
but some of this seems like it's a lot of insubordination. Like, you have the chance to be the leader of this team and be the star that you say you want to be, and then you go out to the night before, like go out in a completely different state the night before.
Yeah, and it's been trending in this direction for a couple of years now. Like, it's not like this came out of nowhere or anything. It's kind of been getting worse. And he got away with it more early in his career because he was younger, more athletic. And Jamal has always been a guy that takes relatively contested, kind of bad shots anyway. So he can kind of get away with that. But man, the injuries piling up, and like it's getting to the point to where like you can't have that. It's not as bad as like, Philly right now having a players only meeting and having Tyrese Maxey call out Joel Embiid for not even showing up on time to fucking practice when he's not even playing in games. But like, it's not good, man. It's not good.
Well, that and just Joel Embiid just came back to his old flopping self already.
It's a 3-hour flight from Memphis to New York.
3 hours, and then you tack on at least a half hour. I mean, at least a half hour, 45 minutes to get to the airport and get on the plane, get it to take off, and then landing and getting there to the hotel. You're talking another hour and a half. So you're talking close to 5 hours. Close to 5 hours. If
it's a private jet.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, Jamal. Get off my lawn. Like,
sorry, Dad.
You made this money. You make these comments that are really good, but then you're showing us a totally different person. And maybe these comments were these could have been just coming out today or made today after the fact, and he had a talking to by Malone. Maybe
I'm hoping that's what it was, because you have to come home tomorrow night to feel the wrath of the fans, and
it's been a house of horrors.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
We're gonna go do Sage.
We may have to.
At some point, we're gonna have to.
I might do that tomorrow.
And if he has a bad game, he's gonna start hearing boos from the fans, and that's really gonna affect Jamal Murray's ego, which I think is kind of fragile,
especially right now. I mean,
how he reacts to every single media question that he takes as negative, whether it is or isn't, and some of them are, but like he's got the press conference mentality of Coach Prime.
See, if I was in that room, I mean, it's tough to say, but I would ask if he had pre-approval for that to go to that fight.
Mm-hmm. I would have too.
Like if he knew, with Jokic being out and all those guys, or it would be. I wish someone would ask him, hey, with Jokic out, with Gordon out, do you think it was a good idea to go to the fights in New York when your team was all in Memphis?
Yeah,
like that's a question that I think
might get kicked out of the press conference.
They might, but you know what?
But it's a question
you should sit there and answer it. That's why I said it's a tough thing to say that. It's easy to sit here and say, hey, I would ask that, but you know what? It should be a question that's asked, because he's not with the team and he is the leader. Like, he's the leader when those guys are out. That's who they look to, and that's who guides the way.
Who's the number 2 guy on the team? It's Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's who you think. You think of Joker and Jamal when you think of the Nuggets first, right away.
Yeah, to Colin's point.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm a little over it. Like I said, we've been through a lot in the off season with his money. I just, I don't know what you can do. I don't know what the Nuggets can do about it, though. They're kind of stuck.
Nothing.
It's not that he's a bad player. It's just that he doesn't play enough, and then he does stupid crap like this. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. That's what it is.
Yeah, maybe a stop at the team psychologist for a day might My help. I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying there's something's going on.
Yeah, can they hire that chick from Ted Lasso?
Yeah,
Amanda Peet, right? Or no?
No,
no, she was in.
No, Amanda Peet is yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway,
Hank Azaria. I can't think of the show.
Well, that's definitely not. Yeah,
yeah, that's Amanda Peet.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I said.
Sorry, I was just like,
I will save the next one for Saturday.
Champagne giant glass with ice.
Go ahead, Colin. We'll save the last part for Saturday.
Oh, okay. On we go.
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin just kind of winging it.
That's right, everybody. Welcome into the victory formation where we make real bets with fake money. And, Nick was talking about my shit-eating grin earlier. And, there's a lot of reasons for it. Because
it came back.
2 of us went 3-1 this week, and 1 of us went 2-2. And I just remembered that there was something that I wanted to clip earlier this year that I didn't get to do. But I'll bring it up in a moment. Let's go through the games as we picked. The first game that we chose was the Bengals. Well, maybe not the first game that we chose. But the games that we chose, the first game on my list was Bengals versus Chargers. I was the only one smart enough to choose the Chargers, as the Bengals bangled and became the Charger list team with no power to finish things off, as Evan McPherson could not figure out a way to hit a field goal in the fourth quarter. Chargers come out victorious. I'm the only one who chose them. They were the favorites, meaning that I won $18.20. Luckily for you all chose with me on the Texans versus Cowboys. Not that it was a hard choice. After one quarter, it was looking pretty close, but we all won 13-08 on that. We moved to Chiefs versus the Bills. This one, I chose the Chiefs, and Xavier Worthy doesn't know how to catch a pass in bounds, but that's okay. The Bills ended up winning, so Nick and Joe won 17-69. Nice. For that one. By the way, the 18-20 was the high watermark win on the week. Our 18-20 win was the high watermark of a win. And then we chose the Predators and Canucks, where Nick, you chose the Predators. Joe, you chose the Canucks.
That sounds right.
And the Predators won.
Nice.
So that means that I'm the big winner of the week, 39-28. And with that 39-28, I move into first place again on the year. 944.51. Joe, you won $10.77 this week, moving into second place, but third place for the week at $933.94. And Nick, with your profit, you're at $811.34. So, Nick, much like you said, it's time for Colin to heat up at the end of the season. And there we go. So that was the clip that I wanted when you said, uh-oh, that means Colin's about to go on fire.
Yep.
And I did. But I also have a shit-eating grin because I know we'll talk about it Saturday, but I have some takes for you guys. And
I like takes.
Someone could have a new pair of sunglasses. Let's just say that before we get to that Saturday, we're going to pick our show Saturday. We're going to pick some games. First game that we're going to choose is Saturday morning. Number 5, Indiana, and number 2, Ohio State. This is at the U. Number 5, Indiana, undefeated on the season at 11-0, or 10-0, excuse me, looking to go 11-0. Ohio State at 9-1.
Isn't the U
they are
Miami?
the under? Yeah, Indiana is the are the under? Excuse me.
Fix yourself for a second there. Who is it again? What schools?
Or did I say the? I said the U, didn't I? At Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said
Ohio State.
I thought I heard that, and I was like, wait a minute.
They're going into the horseshoe.
There you go.
That's what I meant.
That's a U.
Going into the horseshoe, and they face off against number 2 9-1 Ohio State. Nick, who you got? Does Indiana stay undefeated? Or does
Nah, give me the Buckeyes.
He's taking the Buckeyes. Joe, who you got?
I don't know enough about Indiana. I know they seem to be doing good, so yeah, fuck it, let's take them.
Joe is saying, fuck it, let's take him. I'm going with Indiana also. Ohio State has had some very weird games this year, and Indiana has a chance. I mean, right now they've already done something that that's never happened in Indiana football history. And so I think those guys, it's going to be a close win for them, or they're getting blown out. That's the way I think it's going, just because they haven't played in a game or a situation like this. But I think that the way that Indiana has handled things this year, they have a chance at winning this game. So give me Indiana. Next, we move on to the NBA, and this is Friday night basketball. Kings versus the Clippers. Both teams are 8-7. No odds are out yet. Joe, who you got? This is in La La Land.
These are both like decently mid teams. Clippers. Fuck it.
Joe is taking the Clippers. I am taking the Kings, and I'm still hoping for Domantas Sabonis to hit 4 threes in one game. Please hit 4 threes in one game. Nick,
and
who you got?
The Clippers.
Sacramento.
Oh, Nick is following the trend from last week. We move on to the NHL and Thursday night. Hockey. We have the Wild at 12-3-3, visiting the Oilers at 10-8-2. Oilers are favored at home at -155. The Wild are underdogs on the road, even with a better record, at +130. Give me the Oilers at home. Nick, who you got?
Yeah, I can't pick Minnesota.
Joe, who you got?
All right, then I'll pick Minnesota. Let's go.
Oh, this is not looking good, Nick.
For you.
A top 25 matchup in the NCAA. Tomorrow night, Thursday evening, number 13 Baylor favored at -142 at number 22 St. John's +120. Nick,
is that basketball?
Yes, NCAA basketball.
I was making sure because Baylor's not 13.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Who the fuck is St. John's?
Yeah, St. John's is not ranked either. But you know what? I'll go with St. John's anyway.
He's going to St. John's, and you know what? I was going with St. John's too. So, Joe, who you got?
Let's go Baylor.
Oh my God, this is gonna be bad. All right. Well, the tiebreaker. We'll see. I don't know. Whatever. If we can break it. Last game, Thursday night football. The Steelers favorites at -198 going to Cleveland. Underdogs at home in the dog pound at +164. Do you believe Lind? Joe?
No.
Okay.
It's going to be Pittsburgh. I want to root against Russ so bad. I want to root for Jameis Winston to throw all the touchdowns to Jerry Jeudy, running all of those clean, crisp routes. But no. Yeah, it's going to be the Steelers.
You know, I dropped Jameis Winston from my fantasy team to pick someone else up because of this matchup and his bye next week. But I'm going to go with Cleveland. Just hope that Nick doesn't go that way so that we don't follow each other this whole damn week.
Pick Cleveland. Come on, Nick, do it.
You know, there's been something about the Browns lately. They've really just started to... Give me... Are you kidding?
Okay.
I want Permanente brothers now, so give me the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Your Permanente is disowned if you ever chose.
Yeah, I can never go to Permante's again.
I don't know. Whatever. I did that so it wasn't a sweep. Joe, you can enjoy first place back.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome, Joe.
Well, we gotta have a good back and forth.
No, I mean, in all actuality, all the Steelers games have been very close.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why I had the Browns beforehand is that Russell Wilson, we saw at the end of that Baltimore game, Wilson turned into Wilson throwing a pick in the back of the end zone.
Russ was cooking.
Cooking.
And Myles Garrett has a tendency to get pressure on the quarterbacks, of course. but I feel like this is one of those games that Russ and the Steelers might take lightly. And I don't know if Mike Tomlin necessarily lets them, but you have guys like Pickens on the roster and Russell Wilson who just they sometimes they don't just show up for those big games. So or show up after show up after a big game and follow up their performance, and they just play down to their opponents. So that was kind of my feeling behind choosing the Browns, more so than just not choosing with Nick. I really do believe the Browns have a chance to win. And I mean, now I really hope they do because they were underdogs. But, that's kind of why I'm just daydreaming.
There it goes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight.
It's a creeper start, all right?
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's like
everyone's a creeper. That's the name. That's what I titled this thing.
I wish I was special.
So because we're gonna go creeper tonight.
Broncos are trying to creep in the playoffs.
Colin, shut up! I'm going to the outro.
Puffs are trying to creep into the playoffs.
Thanks for
Nuggets are trying to creep back to being healthy.
We love you all.
It makes me sound
thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate you. Don't forget to share, like, love, whatever emoji they'll let you utilize to appreciate us. Share it. Tell your friends. Tell your moms. Tell your mom's friends. And tune in Saturday, as we discuss CU Buffs, CSU Rams, and the Broncos a little bit more. And
Saturday, 3 p.m.
Yep, Saturday, 3 p.m. And we'll even get into a little bit of the Hall of Fame ballot released by the Baseball Writers Association of America.
Yeah,
2 Colorado Rockies are on there, so start thinking about it. For Colin
Jacob Stallings, future Colorado Rockies Hall of Famer.
For Colin Zanker and Joe Goodwin, I'm Nick Archuleta. This has been Undrafted Uncensored. Thank you, Michael Spillman, and everybody over at e5280sports.com, and to our sponsor, Pike Speak Sports Cards. Check them out. If you can find that Paul Skeens, you can get 30 years worth of tickets for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So go digging, people. Topps Chrome. We're good.
Out.